What's up, losers? I am Luke, and this is Luke Loses. Now, remember, being a loser, that's a good thing, because we're losing the weight, we're losing the unhealthy lifestyle, and we're losing that negative image we have for ourselves. I have no fitness or nutrition education. Everything I talk about here is from asking people questions, searching the internet, and my own personal experiences. You can check out my website. It is lukeloses.card.co. That's got all my social media links as well as other platforms where you can find this podcast. And I also have the loser line. That phone number is 323-920-LUKE or 5853. Give me a call, leave me a brief message, ask me questions, give me topic ideas, whatever the case may be, and I will address it on a future episode. Also, however you're listening to this, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Breaker, wherever, if you could do me a favor and make sure you are following the podcast, and if you're able to, leave me a rating and a review. The music that you're hearing right now is by Jake Simmons and the Little Ghosts. They are on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, all over. Check them out. They've got a ton of great music. Go over to bandcamp.com and you can get their records, including vinyl. If you like rock and roll, you will not be disappointed if you listen to their music. Don't forget to give me a follow on Instagram and check out the Luke Loses Facebook page. And on the topic of Facebook, I have a weight loss support group with Corey and Adam. We do a weekly podcast, just the three of us talking about, weight loss, being healthy, living a better life. That's Trimming the Fat Weight Loss Support Group on Facebook. And it is also a podcast, so it's on Spotify and all that as well. Go over there, join the group, and ask questions, post your successes, talk about your struggles. We really look forward to hearing from you, and it is there to be an accountability to help all of us move forward in this journey we have. All right, so let's just jump right into today's episode. As you can tell, the title is What is Wrong with Me? And before I get into it, I started this podcast as a journal for myself. I put my Instagram in there just in case anybody heard it. But what it was for was in 6 months, a year, when I'm struggling, I can go back and listen to what I talked about and hopefully re-inspire me and re-motivate myself. I got some feedback, so I decided to go public with it and push it and do research, interviews, and all that. So the show is centered around myself losing the weight. I want to lose 170 pounds altogether. But it's kind of evolved. It's about being better tomorrow than I was today. So whatever the case may be, whether it's mental attitude, whether it's weight loss, whether it's just getting out there and doing good for other people, helping other people along the way. I just want to be better tomorrow than I was today. And hopefully I can inspire somebody along the way. So I bring that up to talk about today's topic. I went out of town last week with my family. We got a hotel room and they had a pool. I took my kids swimming. I was grumpy. I was in a bad mood for most of it. I was irritable. My anxiety was ridiculous. I wasn't doing good. I wasn't where I wanted to be. And it just happened out of I say nowhere, but looking back at it, my sleep schedule hasn't been the best lately. And I'm sure that contributes to it. They say the term hangry, right? So you're hungry and angry. So I've been eating pretty clean for quite a few months. I think since October. And today it's April 8th. I've been eating relatively clean, and I've had some slip-ups where I've overate and I binged, and I've talked about that. Well, last week when I went on that vacation, I really didn't think about it. I just jumped in and, we had IHOP for breakfast. We had wings for dinner, and I was not eating clean at all. I was, in my mind, I'm like, well, looking at the calories on the menu and stuff, and trying to eyeball it, essentially. And that kind of pissed me off, looking at these foods like, well, I have to get this because this is the least amount of calories on the menu. And I think that contributed to my attitude, thinking about foods that I shouldn't be eating. And then I'm mad at myself because I'm not eating as clean of foods as possible. Like Corey and I, in the interview with Corey Little, we talked about good food and bad food, and that's horrible. When I'm talking about food that I shouldn't be eating, it's just less healthy options, right? Well, to continue back on the story of the trip and the eating unhealthy options. So we decided to go to a mall, and there was a cookie store. My youngest saw a Spider-Man cookie, and he's like, can I get one? And I'm like, sure. And then they're doing a deal, so I think I ended up buying 4 or 5 small cookies, and then there was a cookie that was a pizza cookie, they called it. So it was like a slice of pizza. And I gave each one of my boys a cookie, offered one to my wife. She said no. And then I started to open the pizza cookie. And my wife was like, do you really think that's going to be the best option? Especially since we haven't been really tracking our food this week. And I got mad. I said to her, like, something to the effect of, you're my mother now, or I'm your child. And I threw the box on the ground in the car and just was pissy the rest of the evening. And then I'm looking back at when we were eating breakfast or dinner or whatever, my attitude was just horrible. I was not a happy person. And now looking back, I'm thinking, how is that doing better? How is that being a better person altogether? Throwing a tantrum because I couldn't eat something I wanted. So I feel like I'm all over the place right now, right? To go back and recap, I haven't been sleeping the best. I have been craving eating a lot lately. I want to do it. Anything I see, I'm like, man, I want to eat that. Man, I want to eat that. And I don't know if it's because of the sleep or what, because I know when I don't get a lot of sleep, I'm more hungry. I've been going to the gym, and even last night at the gym, I was just not feeling it. I didn't want to do it. I was exhausted. I kept pausing on my cardio. Oh man, I'm beat. I kept yawning. And I think it's got a lot to do with the sleep and eating, right? So I'm starting to get to that point where it's like, man, I just want to stop. I want to quit. I want to eat what I want, when I want, as much as I want. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to lift heavy things. I'm just coming to a point in my journey where I'm frustrated. And to top it all off, as I'm recording this, I'm doing a juice cleanse right now. So yesterday, I didn't eat much. They recommended that I don't eat meat or anything like that. So I do smoothies, fruits, vegetables, nuts the day before. And then today I start it, and it's a 3-day juice cleanse. And I did the math on my app where I'm going to be intaking like 850 calories for the next 3 days. And I'm sure I'm going to be pissy about that. So I'm going to try really hard not to. Yesterday I was really hungry and, again, irritable. I don't know how else to explain it. I was just in a bad mood. But again, bringing it all back, doing better for myself and for those around me. So I'm going to try to keep it in check a little bit more. I plan on talking to my therapist about it, get his opinion. I've been talking to my brother, who's super level-headed, and he's a great role model. So he's been, giving me some points and some tips and advice. I'm ready to continue, and I just need to not give up. I know I get in these funks where I'm down for a couple days, and then I get back on it. So I got to continue, because I know if I stop now, even if it's for a day or 2 days, I am going to regret it. I'm going to continue making the wrong decisions and go right back to where I was. And also backtrack again, the weight, right? So I haven't been losing a whole lot of weight. It's been coming off slow and moving back up and coming back down and moving back up and coming back down. And I know I'm in the gym right now, so my weight's up a little bit, just getting used to it, and it's driving me crazy, and it's frustrating me. And like I say, trust the process. I know the process says I'm going to lose, and I'm not trusting it. So I want to do better. I want to be a better person. I need to stop whining and just push forward. Now, it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to get pissed off. But I'm to the point to where it controlled my day. It controlled everything. I had attitude with my wife. I had an attitude with my kids. I had an attitude with the waitress, or even the other patrons in the restaurant were pissing me off. And that's not okay. That's not a way to live. I don't want to be sour. I want to be a light to all and positivity. So that's my plan, is I'm just going to put my head down, keep grinding, and push forward. I've said it before. I'm on the road to where I want to go. As long as I keep going in the right direction, I'm okay. And it's all right to have these moments of doubt and all this. You just cannot let it define you. You got to keep pushing forward. And that's what I'm doing. So I did start Googling a little bit, and I found a article that was wrote in 2014. I'll link it in the show notes of this episode. But it's 5 reasons your diet might be causing mood swings. And I hate diets. I think the term diet is horrible. I've talked about it a little bit before. But yeah, so it's 5 reasons your diet, right? So when I say diet, I think of diet is what I eat, not, restricting or cutting or any of that. It's just the diet is your food choices. So number 1 is you're not eating enough. So you're technically starving yourself to lose the weight, or not eating large enough portion sizes that you may be feeling that word hangry. And it leads to low energy and headaches. And it says if you're feeling especially hungry or starved, to try to add more high fiber foods into your diet, and those will create the lasting feeling of fullness. Number 2 says you're obsessed with thinking about the foods you can't eat. So some dieters restrict themselves so much that they end up binge eating, which is one thing that I am known for. One thing I try to do is, instead of cutting out what I love and, my snacks and my things that, I, in quotes, need in my life, instead of cutting those out completely, I limit myself. And actually, reading this now, I've been more strict on myself the past 2 weeks. So I could definitely see that being part of it. Number 3 is you're left out in social situations. It's hard to stick to your diet when your friends and your family are constantly going out for after work drinks or whatever. So right now, that's not really an issue with COVID. But me being around my family, like my wife last night, actually, she knows that I was trying to start the cleanse, the juice cleanse, and I couldn't eat certain foods. And I made pulled pork tacos for my kids for dinner, and she was going to have one when she got home from work. And she turned around to eat it. She didn't want to eat it in front of me. So I'm okay with it. I think I'm okay with it. I say I'm okay with it. But I have caught myself staring at her plate a couple times now that I think about it. But that is one of the things is, your family and your friends eating the unhealthy foods that you want, but you're stuck eating whether if you're on a diet or just cutting back on calories, so your plate is half the size of their plate, it can, build up some anger there. Number 4 is your workouts are leaving you feeling exhausted. And again, that's another one that I could see as I started hitting the gym and I'm trying to do it regularly and actually work at the gym. And I can definitely see becoming angry because of being exhausted, which leads to me being tired and, being irritable. So it says that they recommend you changing your routine, either the time of day that you start exercising or start a new routine in general. Do shorter spurts of workouts or limit your workouts to 4 days per week instead of 5 or 6 so you can get that extra day of rest. So my schedule for the gym is completely crazy. I do it at times that they work for me, but I could get a lot more sleep if I didn't do it at that time. But I enjoy going at that time, so I don't know. So number 5 is you're getting tired of tracking calories, keeping your food journal. It's time consuming. Like I use the app where I can just scan whatever, but I have to, me personally, it's kind of like an obsession. I try to put it in before I eat, and if I don't, then I go the whole day, and now I'm trying to think of what did I have? Did I have that? Did I have that today, or was that yesterday? So that is that's definitely one thing. It gets old, it gets boring, and seeing it, it's kind of like, man, I just want fast food. So yeah, they're saying that could be your reason for being cranky. So that's all. That's the list of 5 things for, possible mood swings. And like I said, I'll post that in the description. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here on that. Just a quick recap on it. Just positivity, man. Do what you can to be better. And even if it's little changes, as long as you're working at it. One thing I'm gonna touch back on this real quick. One thing I did hear recently is it's not your intentions, it's your actions that make the difference, right? So you can say, I want to lose weight, I want to be fit, I want to be healthy. You can say that all you want, but unless you're actually doing the work and doing the action, it's not gonna matter, right? You can say you're sorry 1,000 different ways for something, but if you don't act upon what you are sorry for, whether it's, being grumpy at the mall because you couldn't eat a cookie, I can tell my wife and my kids I'm sorry for acting that way. But if I just do it again tomorrow, that sorry meant nothing. I'm going to do what I can to be better, do better. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you learned anything or if you found anything interesting, please give me a like and a review on Apple Podcast or anywhere that allows you to leave reviews or stars or comments or whatever. And please share this episode, whether you're tagging me on Instagram or reposting something, sharing the page on your Facebook or on Twitter, mention me, whatever the case may be. I would really appreciate it, and it would do so much for the podcast. It's the best way for me to be heard is by sharing, right? Again, the music that you're listening to is Jake Simmons and the Little Ghosts. Check them out. I will leave all their links in the description. Go over to bandcamp.com. Buy their album. They would appreciate it. My website is lukeloses.card.co. That is CARRD.co. And the loser line 323-920-LUKE. That is 5853. Give me a call. Share what's on your mind. Give me a tip, topic ideas, concern. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Whatever the case may be. I want to hear from you. I would really love it. I've got one phone call so far, and they didn't leave a message, so I don't know who it was from. Hopefully it wasn't like spam or my car warranty or whatever. It probably was. Yeah, give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. Check out the Facebook group, Trimming the Fat, weight loss support group. Check out that podcast with Adam, Corey, and myself. I really feel like I'm rambling today and I'm all over the place, so I apologize for that. It might be because I'm hungry. It might be because I'm doing the cleanse. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something and not saying something I usually do, but I'll leave it at that. So as always, stay positive, do the work. Remember, we got to trust the process. I need to work on that. But trust the process, and I will see you Friday for my weigh-in.
Finally who I wanted to be. Now I'm growing out.